Executive Director of the Pools of Hope.
And thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to introduce everyone to this show. It's called On the Line. It's new. We're new. And the topic is about well-being, specifically the issues and the people and the places beneath the resources. So we can talk about spiritual wellness or physical wellness, but there is a lot to uncover beneath. And today we're going to talk about environmental wellness. We have Pat Dixon, who's from Pools of Hope, an amazing place that creates community within a neighborhood. And we will be having Linda Wilson on in a little bit, and she comes from College Square. And some of you may not know where College Square is, but you will by the end of this show. And the two of them work, their organizations and they as people, to build well-being in that space. So we're going to go on with the program, and I'm going to start out with Pat and ask Pat, tell me what the big idea is, the overarching idea of Pools of Hope.
Well, first of all, Gretchen, thank you so much for this opportunity to share information about Pools of Hope and be a part of your program. And really, the main goal of Pools of Hope is really to be an asset and to serve the community, to improve the health and wellness of members of the community. That's why we're there. That's why we've been there for over almost 60 years. And hopefully that's our plan to be there in the near future, is really to use our warm water aquatic therapy facility to improve the lives of others.
So you've talked about a therapeutic community, which is a very interesting thought. And I want to help us understand what you mean when you use that expression, therapeutic community. Describe that?
Well, really, it's about wellness, and we use a broad definition of wellness: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, educationally. So whatever that can enable us to be whole individuals, our best selves. And for us, a great part of that is health, and in the way of physical exercise and rehabilitation from injuries or diseases. So that is how we use therapeutic in that capacity. But really, we're about wellness, and therapeutic is a component of that wellness.
So how does one participate in that? How does that happen? You have a large group of people, a large community. Is that right?
That's correct. Because of our longevity in the community, we're privileged in that we have a lot of people that are connected to the pool and have been coming for many, many years. And we're honored to serve them to help meet their health and wellness needs. So that's what it looks like. It looks like providing a catalyst of programs that are not related necessarily to pool, necessarily related to water. And we get that all the time. We have a Achieving Academic Excellence program, and that's about teaching children, providing tutorial services to children in the community. And then they're rewarded with free swim lessons. So that is a program that expands our wellness reach, which is one of the forefront of what we do.
So here, as I'm hearing it, and I think others that will be listening in when this show airs, is that you see a connection, a very real connection between what your organization, the facility and the staff that work there, and the neighborhood that it sits in.
Absolutely.
That it's not separate. It's people aren't just driving there, hopping out, do their little thing and go home, although that might happen, but that there is this interaction between you and the environment that you sit in. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. We are a building, right? What is the purpose of a building without, focus to do something? In our case, we have this indoor heated facility in North Long Beach. So we want to be just not in the community, but we want to be a part of the community. For many of the children in our community, we were the pool that they grew up with. So we provide rec programs as well to the children in the community. So that helped. We found that helped with less graffiti on the building because they were invested in the community. And so our community, we come to the pool for their health and wellness, and we are invested in being there to not only provide our core services, but services that can help them live their best life.
I think that we know that many nonprofits, and your organization is a nonprofit, which I think is another facet of this idea of wellness, that a nonprofit takes on this enormous responsibility and accountability to work on wellness. I'm thinking that as we are continuing to live under COVID restrictions, that the way, well, one, how we define wellness may be altered, but also the way we implement programming related to wellness might be adapted or changed. Can you tell us what you're thinking about, how you see the future, really?
Well, that's a great question. And in reality, that future came upon us because of COVID a little soon, I imagine, for, most of organizations, right? So it kind of changed. We have our strategic plan of what we want to do, but then COVID happened and it changed us. It put upon us to change right away. And it was challenging, but how can we still meet that definition to serve the community and providing wellness programs? So for instance, we are now a food pantry a couple days a week. That wasn't part of our strategic plan, to be quite honest. However, and being an asset and value to the community during pandemic times like we're in now, you have to think of ways you can help the community. So this opportunity, we were invited to, we have the huge building, we have the location, we have the community. What can we do? Our pool was closed because of mandated pool closures. I mean, not only just pool closures, but at that time we were all staying at home, but our building was still there. And so there was a need coming for people to get food. So we said, why can't, if not us, then who? Sure, we can do it. Let's get together, see what we need to do to try to help our community meet their food needs. And that's how the pantry came about.
So a couple of things. One, to clarify, there's a food pantry twice a week. You want to tell everyone when those days and times are?
Sure. It's Thursday at 2 p.m. and Saturdays at 11 a.m. And if you're interested, do call us at 310-537-2224, our office, and verify those hours because they're subject to change because it really depends on, the supply we get. So we give it away as we get it. And we have lines around the corner. I mean, as you've seen, we're fortunate in that we're able to help the community during this time.
So people listening are going to be really interested in that phone number. You want to say it slowly once again.
Sure. Slowly, here it goes. 310-537-2224.
Excellent. So we'll get that out there because there's so many programs. I'll want to make sure I'm clear on the program offerings because having parent support with specific programs for children,
Yes.
having adult and older adult programming throughout the week. Are there, I know in the past, let's just take a breath for a moment because we've been so excited about sharing all this information. I know that the little that I know about Pools of Hope is that you've had a strong programming interaction with the Veterans Administration. And I think that might be of interest as we have continuing need for a lot of reasons to support our veterans community. And I know those programs can sort of have a life cycle, but I'd like to see from your perspective how you've built a relationship with our VA.
We are fortunate to have a great relationship, partnership with the veteran community, with our local veterans hospital, as well as veteran organizations throughout really Los Angeles County. And a large portion of our population, we're glad to say, are veterans. And we provide various programs. There are veterans and service members. So we provide aquatic therapy, as well as we provide sports, adaptive sports programs. One of them is introduction to paddleboarding for veterans. And
oh no, we got to stop right there. I'm sorry, everybody. I got to stop. Okay, paddleboarding in the pool. Okay, you got to get that. So we've got to bring in video once we have it. If that's
absolutely.
That's such a wonderful idea. People could be up and on a board in a safe space. Anyhow, I interrupted. I think that's such a cool idea. Okay.
No, but you're right. It's great to see, and it's really affords people of all abilities a chance to experience water, movement, exercise. I mean, so what we do, our model is we introduce you to it at the pool, in our deep pool or shallow pool, and in a safe environment. And then our hopes is that we will take you out to the ocean eventually once you've been trained on how to do the paddle boarding. So we partner with great organizations to help us provide this program to our veterans, and it's really, really exciting to see. We did it also for our children with special needs as well. We took them also on paddle boarding. So one day, Gretchen, we'll have to go out.
Yeah, no, I'm no video. Okay, no recording. So one thing, when I tell people I'm going to be speaking to you, they immediately talk about swimming. Mm-hmm. And I think that's we need to clarify a water-based experience for people, that swimming is one thing you can do in the water, just like the paddle boarding is another thing you can do in the water. But there are lots of things that people are doing in an aquatic environment that don't relate to swimming. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. Our name used to be California Pools of Hope, and we changed the name because of that reason. We wanted people to know that the pool, although it is a swimming pool, but it's not your typical swimming pool, splish, splash. You can do that in there, but it's therapeutic in nature. Our pools are 91 to 94 degrees, and there is swimming. We have people that come and swim mini laps, which is a great full body workout. Swimming is awesome, but then we also do water exercise classes. We have a Tai Chi aqua class that, thanks to you, Gretchen, that is amazing to see, that Tai Chi being done in the water. And that is a great exercise for people of all abilities. I mean, if you have problems with land exercises, that's a great one to start with. In addition, we have various levels of water exercise classes for seniors, for people of all ages and abilities. So it's not just swimming in the pool, it's we have water volleyball. Anything that can motivate us and others to stay fit, to keep it moving.
So how do you know if you are being successful?
Great question. One of the things that have kept the Pools of Hope around for a long time, and where we tag it as a success, is our longevity. As you know, being a nonprofit, it can be a challenge. And being in North Long Beach, we're proud to be a part of that community for so many years. So that is how we deem success, but also the outcomes. is equally a testament to our success. People have been coming for many, many years. We've been asked to change the name of the pool from Pools of Hope to the Miracle Pool, because miracles happen for many people. You know, every day there's a reason why people come to the pool, regardless of what the weather's like, hot, cold, rainy. They're coming to put on a bathing suit to get in that water because it adds value to their life, whether it's to their mental being or their physical being. And that we deem to be a success.
So from all I've known, from talking to other people around the Pools of Hope, you are it. That there's nobody, you are it. I know there's a board, there's staff, everybody's fabulous. The people that come and use it are fabulous. But overwhelmingly, people point to you as, and they should be, you're the executive director, you should be leading it. But I guess, again, back to the point of the show and this discussion is what motivates someone like yourself to take on something that is so wonderful, so invaluable, and requires a great deal of time and attention.
Well, you're kind to say that, but really, you know, I couldn't do what I do without our fantastic board and our dynamic staff. So that's nice of you to say that, but you, as you know, you've been at the pool a lot. We have a great staff. So two things motivate me to be the staff and the people we serve, seeing the results. I've always had an affinity for two groups of people, to be honest, the elderly and people with special needs. The rest of us that fall in the middle.
You're on your own.
No, but I've always had an affinity, you know.
That's great.
For that population. Due to my own, I have special needs members, a niece and nephew in my own family that are very dear to me. So that inspired me early on to want to see how I could make a difference. And, you know, I was raised by my mom, who was my goddess. And, you know, I was raised around a lot of dynamic elderly people, and I've always had an affinity again for that population. So really that group that we serve was enticing to me. And then being there, working with our board and working with our great staff and the people we serve. When it gets hard, sometimes I tell staff, look out that window. You know, our office is upstairs and it overlooks the pool. I can see down. So when I'm having a hard day and need to get reinvigorated and recharged, I just look out the window so I can see why I'm there. Remind me why we have to keep doing what we do so that the community can have access to this great organization.
Pat, that is a wonderful note to end on. I would say this whole idea of the environmental dimension in wellness, you have described for people in depth that the environment in which they can go to or they live in is essential to overall well-being. And I think that you've given us really a guidebook for that. And we will, we're inspired, but we aspire to begin to address this. So it's something that I could wish for everyone, that they have access and support of a therapeutic and wellness community that meets their needs. So with that, I say thank you. It's been swell.
Thank you so much, Gretchen. Appreciate you.
Association in District 9 of North Long Beach, California.
I'm Gretchen Swanson, and this is On the Line. And we are thrilled to have Linda with us today. And the focus of On the Line is about wellness. And today we're focusing on our environment. And of course, the environment brings up a lot of connotations, but it's really, when we think about our life, we really refer to where we're from, the street where we lived, our next door neighbors, the park we played in, and our neighborhood. And so creating those memories and having those memories is very, very much a part of living in the United States today. And I am thrilled to, first of all, I get to work in College Square, and now get to know more about College Square as a neighborhood. And I would say few people know where College Square is, which maybe you want to keep a secret because, we don't know what will happen. But tell people, if you would, Linda, how you came to live in College Square.
Well, over 20 some years ago, I was looking for a home here in Long Beach. And after traveling throughout several other cities, which was distanced, I decided it was too costly for wear and tear on my vehicle as well as on my body and my family life. And I stumbled upon a news ad and came to view this home, and the rest is history.
So you were working and you wanted to find a place that was a place you could commute from, to and from your home to work. And where were you working at the time?
I was working downtown Los Angeles at the time.
So you needed to be freeway accessible and yet be in a community that had a neighborhood that did all these things. And you raised your family there. You have family.
Absolutely. Yes.
So as I was traveling and walking down the streets, what I was impressed with was the old growth trees. And I mentioned that to you before when I first met you. I don't think many neighborhoods can compete with the old growth. They are large and they create an incredible canopy. Can you talk about what it's like? Maybe you think it's normal, but I will tell you that most of us don't live under tree canopy like that.
Well, it's wonderful to have the beautiful trees in this area. They have been around for a very long time. We do have some newly planted trees over the past couple of years under a special project by the fort. But most of the trees in the area have been here for a very long time, and it's great to have not only the shade, but also to see the squirrels run up and down the trunks of the trees.
Well, and then people are out walking, right? So there are a lot of people out walking. And even with the COVID masks, people can walk their dogs and jog, and it's just this wonderful space, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're in the neighborhood association, and we have a ton of neighborhood associations in Long Beach. You've been with your group for a long time. Can you speak to some of the things that people don't appreciate about organizing and working with a neighborhood group?
Well, it does require time. It requires attention and a love for what you're doing. That's the most important thing, I believe, is love the people, because you're going to run into people of all different walks of life, dispositions, and understanding levels, and cultural backgrounds. Mm-hmm. As well as in our particular area, there are sometimes language challenges. Mm-hmm. So you must love what you're doing in the first place. And then once you love it, you can overcome anything because you can find solutions to any situation.
You have some great photos of events. Now this is without the COVID restrictions, but you'll be going back to it, I'm sure, in time. But tell us about some of the annual events or legacy things that you do. Give us some quality of life. People talk about quality of life, but you actually facilitate it.
Okay. Well, here in our area, in College Square Neighborhood Association, we do have multiple events throughout the year before COVID, pre-COVID. We have a meet and greet at least once a year where the neighbors get together with various civic leaders on a one-on-one, very relaxed setting for a couple of hours where they can talk about, concerns or get updated information firsthand. We have the back to school, which is normally an event that is half of a day. The youth get an opportunity to swim in the pool. There are fitness exercises. We have games, prizes, food, as well as the back to school backpacks that we have with lots of goodies.
So let me just stop right there because you slipped in the pool there, and people are meeting Pat Dixon, who is a part of the Pools of Hope. But there's a connection here that in your neighborhood, not only these old growth trees and this wonderful, supportive neighborhood, but you have something that, again, most neighborhoods don't have, which is a fabulous pool, a community pool. And so you have this day when young, I can't say youngsters, I think that's so not right? So students that are in grade school and high school can come, and they get an event where they get backpacks and school supplies, but they also get to hang out in the pool. So it's a fun family day. Is that right? So you use something that's there and bring the neighborhood to it. Okay.
Yes,
I
we
interrupted you on
together.
there because I wanted people to know what you've done. Yeah.
Yes. In our neighborhood, it is an advantage to have, and we are blessed to have the Pools of Hope. Pat Dixon and College Square partners on a good many things throughout the year to take advantage of that. And our neighbors are glad to have the pool. But the pool also services beyond our neighborhood.
Right.
But for our neighborhood purposes,
right.
It's a great blessing and a great resource and a great asset to have in partnership for all of our activities and events.
And you have other activities through the year.
Absolutely.
And are there a couple others that you would like to mention?
Sure. We strive to have activities or an event around Thanksgiving where we find certain neighbors or those who are disadvantaged and try and give away some food or turkeys or partner with someone that's doing that. And then we have the Christmas event. Again, we partner with the pool to do that, where we provide toys for the young people and an opportunity for them to have some fun activities.
Wow. No, really, I think about growing up and the memories of being able to go to a pool. It's pretty special. And you are probably in the neighborhood most distant from the ocean in our ocean-based city. So the fact that you have a pool there really makes up for that little bit of a distance issue. In fact, you make it a non-issue by having that opportunity. What are some of the lessons or insights that you have that you could share with other people? Some people are involved with their neighborhood. Some people have gotten burnt out by being in their neighborhood. And some people don't even know that they live in a neighborhood. What are some things that you think are pearls of wisdom? You talked about loving what you did. Are there some other things to help people reach out to each other?
Sure. There are many things that we do throughout the year. One is that we try to keep in touch with our neighbors on a monthly basis through either newsletters or online social media type activities and announcements, because we want them to know what's going on, keep them up to date, and also share some of the concerns of other neighbors, as well as having the monthly meetings. Of course, with COVID, our monthly meetings are now via Zoom. So that eliminates, or that makes us more distant. But pre-COVID, we was able to have the one-on-ones in our meetings, and we'd always have, the police department, so that people could share their concerns directly and also get feedback on things that we need to be aware of in the community as well as in the city. And we always have representation from the district so that we could be kept abreast of what was going on. And then basically just get an opportunity for the neighbors to share their concerns and their ideas and on what's going on. And it keeps the neighborhood connected. Yes. And,
What do you think going forward will be in this state for a while? What are, and we know there's challenges at the household level, the personal level, the economic level. What do you see this connectedness with neighborhoods and neighbors? How do you see that working, not just technically, but how do you see that helping, or how we need to step up to help us collectively weather this storm? I don't have a really good analogy for it, but this change.
It's an ongoing process, and there will be ups and downs. There are challenges. Some neighbors are more open than others, but we still try and keep all the neighbors engaged in one way, shape, or form, respecting, their privacies or sometimes their hesitancies, whatever they may be. But the thing is that we try and reach out, and by reaching out, they always know that they can come to someone. Sometimes we're walking through the neighborhood and, they'll stop you. Sometimes it's a phone call. Sometimes it's an email. But they always know that because we have been doing this for a very long time, that there's someone in the neighborhood that they can reach out to. If there's a problem, that they feel like they can't solve, they'll call and try and get help with it, or just feel confident that once they've shared it, it's going to get taken care of.
Well, yes, that's
So
something else.
Yes.
We'll have you back about how you solve problems, but I think you're bringing up something that is maybe said, but needs to have the spotlight, which is knowing that there's someone you can reach out to, that you are not alone, even if it's you reach out, and just by reaching out, maybe you feel better, but knowing that you're not here, because we can feel so alone. Our work day is pretty compressed. People are now having to stay in their home or doing all these different behaviors, and they're exhausted. And just knowing that around, two houses down or 3 houses over there, that there's someone that they can reach out to, and they know the people generally walking in front of their home, and there's a sense of okayness about that, right?
Yes, there is. And it's good to see the neighbors out talking to one another, even though, you're across the street being socially distanced.
Yes. No, that's right. People are walking their dogs or running, in the street if it's safe. And it's a sense of living, a sense of life. I know I sit out on my front porch just to see life go by, and then I go back inside. I think it's okay. And with that, I thank you. The best thing I get to do, and I share this with everyone, that a part of wellness is gratitude. And what I get to do at the end of each of these segments is to be appreciative. And I'm so appreciative of you. Having my own experience of working in neighborhood, I am taking in every word, and I will re-listen to this because it's inspiring and it's supportive, and I really I thank you for that. So I want you to wave goodbye, and You are going to see yourself on TV very soon. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much for engaging our neighborhood and letting the world know about our neighborhood.